So you don't think that Fox News on the right is equivalent, or saying that Fox News on the right is equivalent to saying that MSNBC is on the left?
Right. In fact, they have Morning Joe on MSNBC,
That's
which
what I'm
is
saying.
a right-wing guy.
Exactly.
And it's a lot more balanced. And also MSNBC, even those who may identify themselves as liberal or progressive, will back up what they say with facts and will apologize if shown that they made a mistake on something. They don't do that on.
And so you brought up Media Matters.
Yeah, because they're a good watchdog over the media. Yeah.
And do you know how Media Matters gets their funding?
No, I don't care them that much. It's what they say and what my observation of their work is that counts to me.
I would challenge you to look up how Media Matters is funded.
I will.
Is that going to make the difference of whether they tell the truth or not? No, I don't think so.
I think it will be more meaningful to you if you pursue on your own how Media Matters is funded.
Well, and the thing is too is I think that people need to make a decision for themselves who they find is truthish, because honestly I think the 24-hour news networks are all
They're all bought. Look at the commercials.
Well, not only that, but they're not telling people what they need to hear. It's just like garbage. It's just to inflame. That's all it is. If you looked at a news program from 20, 30 years ago and compared it to now, I mean, it's insane.
It's so polarized. It's starting to pin people against each other.
I'll give you the perfect example. Walter Cronkite, who was before your time, but you probably heard of. He was so popular. He was, for a while there, considered to be the most trusted person in the media, or even in America, or in the world, or whatever. But he was super trusted, and he was a mainstream media guy. Today, you have no such equivalent in the media. Nobody trusts anybody from the media anymore, and for good reason.
Actually, they do. That's the problem.
Well, those who give blind faith, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about legitimate trust and earned trust.
Yeah, that's true.
And Walter Cronkite was one of the main reasons that America lost faith in the efforts in Vietnam.
Good for him. Yeah, he was against the war and right on to it. Yeah.
But
you know what?
It was a horrible war.
If they were showing on the nightly news stuff about Iraq the way they used to about Vietnam, that war would have been over a long time ago.
Exactly.
That was a media blackout. Just like so much other.
No, they showed more on Vietnam than they do currently.
Yeah,
that's what you're saying, right?
Now we have a media blackout on anything that actually means something. Anything that means something.
Right.
So you think it was a good thing that people in the United States treated soldiers returning from Vietnam the way that they did?
Did I say that? No, I didn't say that.
Well, no, I'm asking you. You said it was a good thing that he turned public opinion against Vietnam.
Yeah, but that's not saying that we treated the troops bad.
You don't think we treated the troops badly?
We may have, but but saying the war was bad and should have ended was not the same thing as treating the troops bad. They're independent factors, okay? I'm saying the war was bad, it needed to be identified as such and ended, which eventually it was, but it took too long. Now, if the troops were treated bad when they got home, I'd say that too is wrong, but the one has nothing to do with the other.
Right, exactly. No one has a crystal ball to know, what's going to happen. It's the media's job to report the truth. If something comes of that, then
that's just consequence.
Walter
no one can.
Cronkite was not responsible for mistreatment of troops when they came home. If he looked at the war and saw the atrocities that were going on, for what purpose, and that we had no business being there, and he was sad by that, and portrayed it in the media, that's saying nothing about how he thinks the troops should be treated when they get home or otherwise.
Most things that make the news anyways is bad. Most of the stuff that makes the news is bad anyways. Because it sells.
So do you think it's possible for a news organization to be completely unbiased?
Completely unbiased? No, everybody has their biases. It's all a matter of relativity. Like Fox News, extremely biased, extremely uncaring about the facts. Others have more integrity. Like the New York Times is somewhat objective, but they have their biases too. No, there's no such thing as perfect unbiased. Everybody's got their own personal agenda. But it's how much you let that dictate what you know to be true or not, or lying or not, that counts.
conversations out of our politics because our media has failed us. Our media has absolutely failed this country. There's so many things that have gone on right underneath Americans' noses that people would have a say of if they knew about it, if they were being told about it. And all it is just garbage now. It's just salacious. It's just trying to get, the right, angry with the left and the left angry with the right. It's garbage.
Exactly.
And it doesn't feed anybody. And not only that, if it bleeds, it leads. That's all it is now. It's literally like watching a horrifying reality show, a bad one, where it's just death, mayhem, and destruction. They'd rather cover that than actually talk about things that affect every American in this country.
You can almost predict what they're going to say now, especially when they have the guests on the opposite side.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's totally agenda driven. And honestly, I will say I watch a little MSNBC, but sorry, that guy Ed. He annoys. Ed Schultz. He absolutely drives me literally